Okay, I'm not actually becoming a monk yet, but I did move to Mexico. I did shave my head, as you can see, and I did this in pursuit of a reset. And I've gone through countless resets in my business career, going from EGN Media to Popcorn Marketing to Clients.io to Clients Marketing to Pulse Media Inc. to then Coconut Creative. And then finally, in May of 2021, Coconut Creative had produced $50,000 a month in revenue. And all my resets had paid off, and I could finally celebrate and have fun and relax. But then shortly after, I fell into this place that I like to call the void. So the void, to be clear, is not, depression. It's not like you're suicidal. It's not like you're, crying.
Depression, you feel this overwhelming sadness, even though you could be having a clear purpose in life for what you want to do. Whereas the void, you don't have that purpose or that guiding system, so you don't feel sad, you feel lost.
You're just kind of like drifting through life, drifting through space, and life is just kind of happening to you. And I remember one day when I woke up, and the entire day felt like the opening credit to BoJack Horseman, where I was going through the day and my body was there, but I wasn't physically present in any of the activities that I was doing throughout the day. It was awful, which is odd because things were seemingly going all right in my life, right? Or were they? I just had this lack of understanding
of what the hell was going on.
I just felt so lost, and I didn't understand why. A doctor can't heal a problem he has no information on. He must first understand the problem to assign a diagnosis. So I was looking for a diagnosis. I wanted to find the answer to this thing, and so I just began taking drastic changes in my life. I broke up with my girlfriend. I broke up with my business partner in Coconut Creative. I moved out of my parents' place and stayed in my car. I slept in my car for 7 days. I didn't have to do that, but I did. I took a gross amount of psychedelics.
Because I could tell, everything was hitting really fast.
I'm working abroad, outside of the country. My hair has never been this short before. And I started talking with every single person I had ever come in contact in my life to, getting their view, getting their ideas. Who am I as a person? What do I want? Who am I as a person? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Now, I want to say that I was just walking and a walnut fell on my head and I had this prolific epiphany that answered these questions, but that didn't happen. I sat on these questions long enough and I thought about them long enough that eventually I gained enough certainty that allowed me to start taking action. You want to be taking action towards a greater purpose, towards something. That is the formula for fulfillment, for confidence, for waking up and feeling excited to get to work. And when I say enough certainty, I mean I had a 6 out of 10 confidence that I knew what I wanted to do, because you'll never be 100% certain of what you want to do. Then it's just taking action on that uncertainty with the hope that clarity will find itself along the way. Now, I called this video the reset because in order to get back into action mode, you have to break out of the void state through something like a reset. After being in such a negative headspace for so long, you pick up these characteristics that you're going to want to remove. So what does it take to break it? What am I doing right now? That's why I'm here right now. Prioritize finding the answers to these questions. It's not easy to find that purpose, but you actually have to put that as a priority to find the answer. And like I said, it's an ongoing development. Before, I said I was at a 6 out of 10 for certainty for that purpose.
That is my Yaletown apartment. 8 months of growing out my hair and it looks like this. It has been 8 months since my reset, since Cabo, and since I have shaved my head, as you can probably tell. It took me a long time to realize what had pushed me into that stage and the correct, I guess you could call like action steps that would eventually take me out.
When I look at my activity over the past few months, I see that not everything I've been doing has been contributing towards my one goal. Actually, I've done a lot of things that's been distracting me from that goal. But at the same time, if I just objectively look at like what I've got going on in my life, I mean, I've got this fantastic apartment in Vancouver, which has been a dream of mine for a long time. I'm in the fittest shape I've ever been in my entire life. My dating life, I mean, it's been ridiculous since coming down here. And we're consistently hitting $20,000 months in the business, which is good. It's not great. It's not where I want to be, but I mean, objectively, like it's not bad.
So my original diagnosis while I was in Cabo of what you should do to break out of this reset was a little washed out. I didn't know at the time what you had to do. I had guesses and assumptions of what I had to do, but I was going through it for the first time in my life in that moment. It's not like I'm an experienced resetter.
And I've gone through countless resets in my business career.
At this level, getting out of this stage of depression, I've never done that before. I'm 22. The one thing I was doing, I didn't even say it in the video, but I was doing it as I was in Cabo, was I was preparing my vessel, meaning that I was preparing my body for whatever it is that was gonna come down the line that was going to be my challenge in life, my purpose, my goal, my drive in life. I removed myself from this physical location that was causing me misery, even though it wasn't the location specific, but I moved myself into a new location for the purpose of building up my vessel by waking up every day at the same time, by meditating every day at the same time, and running and eating extremely healthy. Like, guys, my habits, my routines were so insanely strict and specific that, like, it was crazy. It was honestly like the amount of commitment I had while I was there just to myself was insane. And keep in mind, I was in Cabo, the party central place of Mexico, during spring break. There was a 2-week period where there was insane parties, the hottest chicks you can ever imagine, just bikinis walking around, they're pulling you in, they're trying to get you in the club. Like, that was going on, and I was like, nope, I'm not drinking any alcohol. Nope, I'm spending tonight, I'm reading. Nope, I'm gonna be here till, 10 p.m. Even if you are chemically depressed, you can't tell me that you don't have the energy to go to the gym.
No, you can't do that.
You're telling me you can't drive to the gym, go on the treadmill, and just walk on it for 5 minutes? Wherever your baseline is now, slowly start to build up your baseline. Start standing as you're watching TV. Start doing the knee raises when you're watching TV. 2 weeks later, start doing a walk outside for half an hour every day. Like, you cannot tell me, regardless of the stage you're in right now, that you cannot start preparing your vessel. You can. You can. You can. As you're preparing your vessel, and you're probably going to be preparing your vessel wondering like, okay,
what am I preparing this for?
What you can do in the background is seriously ask yourself why you want the things that you want. So originally last year, it might have just been and then
failure hits. Shit hits the fan and all hell breaks loose. You have officially failed your goal. Congratulations! Maybe you failed at getting a university degree, or you failed at making that project come to life, or you didn't make that team that you've been working years for. Whatever the failure is, you're all left with the same question. What now?
Maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I can't achieve these goals that I thought I could achieve. Maybe I'm not the kind of person that can achieve this level of success. And that last one there is the core to your identity. I'm not that kind of person. And once you start to question yourself, your own identity, who am I? Then the secondary thing comes into play where you start to question what you want as a person. Because if you don't know who you are, how the hell are you gonna know what you want in life? So originally last year, I have $100,000 in the bank. And then boom, I hit this failure, and then I'm like,
do I even want money? Like, money's just for, rich assholes anyways.
I was like seriously considering dropping the business I had been working on for 2 years and just off and making YouTube videos.
It's like, I'm gonna be an artist that doesn't need money.
I can sit down one of my employees in my company and he can tell you about a conversation we had together over dinner where I was just saying like, look, I don't think I'm gonna be doing this anymore. A month from now, I think it's just gonna be you. And I was literally like, I'll give you all my clients. I'm just gonna off and I'm gonna do this thing. Like, that's how much mental questioning I had over my goals. Like, I was having these serious conversations with people. And the great thing about going through that exercise is that after all that mentally straining questioning, do I really want this? Do I really want this? Do I really want this? I've arrived at like, yes. That's what I've been working for 4 years, was to be financially independent. A high value male, physically, dominantly, emotionally, socially, just very high value, to have enough money to be able to retire at 30, 35 so I can do whatever I want for the rest of my life. Like, do I want those things? Absolutely. The problem wasn't the goals that I had set for myself. The problem was the direction in which I took to try to get there. It's the failure that stops you from pursuing those goals. It's the self-doubt that stops you from wanting to pursue those goals, to thinking you're not good enough. I've gone through different rabbit holes of what I want in my life, and I've arrived in the same conclusion. So it's not like I have to just jump ship and abandon my goals altogether. It's just the direction to get to my end state of where I want just needs to shift. Although the goals are like very similar to the ones before, now I have this like ultimate confidence to know like, absolutely, this is 100% what I want. And then once you have that realignment of your goals, you think you have an idea of what you want to do, like just listen to what I said in Cabo.
Then it's just taking action on that uncertainty with the hope that clarity will find itself along the way.
That was spot on. You have to start taking daily actions to pursue that goal and let the what ifs and the buts and all that just take care of themselves. In my example I gave earlier, where I just bum rushed my entire life and social circle, just destroying relationships, like that was my attempt at taking these daily actions to move towards something else. I didn't have a realignment of my goals at that point. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew something had to change. Every day I was just taking actions to do something different, to get me out of this, to crawl out of this space. And so I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend first building up your vessel, realigning your goals before you start taking those daily actions. You can't be in a stage of just thinking about doing something and not actually doing it for longer than 6 months. Like, that is not okay. That's what these actions mean. It means putting yourself in these uncomfortable positions to just throw yourself out there, try taking actions toward it. You're gonna have a ton of uncertainty, but as you start to do it more and more, you're gonna build up that certainty and you're gonna have a better idea. So, live life with intention and with purpose, and know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, well, it's time to start looking.
Once we're out the door, leave your message here on the telephone, 'cause we've no idea when we're coming home.
Oh, now see, it's focused on me, eh?